So, some of you have been asking what I use as a pre and post workout because some of you have asked, are you going to start adding any carbs back into your diet with all the basically muscle building, bodybuilding type workouts, that I've been doing, really concentrated form, really focusing on the mind muscle connection of the movement and stuff like that. And the game changer for me was cutting out the sugar and carbs to begin with, to start losing all the excess body fat that I had. So I went from 280 pounds down to about 285 pounds about a month ago, and I've focused more on calorie control and actually increasing my calories because depending on hormones and what you're taking, I'm taking 37.5 milligrams of Phentermine, which is an appetite control, but it also gives you a lot of energy and it helps you focus on tasks that you normally wouldn't be able to focus on. So it's originally, I guess it was supposed to be like an ADHD drug that they ended up realizing, wow, this actually stops other things from happening as well. Like it stops people from wanting to binge eat constantly, and it stops people from wanting to eat excessively when they're not really supposed to. So it gives your body a time to break. So in the morning when I wake up, I drink a glass of water, I drink a cup of coffee, and I have my Phentermine, and I'll take a men's daily vitamin, and I'll take a triple strength fish oil, like it's the new super concentrated formula from Costco. It's got the higher omega count than other ones that I've seen, and higher omega-3 count. And it was going great. I've lost like the first probably equivalent to 100 pounds. I don't know anymore. I quit tracking like the overall weight loss because once I hit that first like 70-pound weight loss, I started getting into building muscle because I noticed the skin was just getting real loose in areas, and it was that in itself. Not being fat was, like an embarrassing thing as it is, but having all the loose skin was also embarrassing. So I thought, can I utilize this drug that I'm on, or can I utilize food in general to get what I want out of this? And the answer is yes. So after months and months and months of controlling my eating and mainly just eating meats and green vegetables and plenty of water, I noticed there was other things that I was lacking. I was lacking certain micronutrients. I was having salads and stuff from time to time, but it wasn't enough to refeed my body. So I ended up finding an electrolyte supplement that I like. I went with a lemonade flavor. Where it says take 1 scoop, I started taking double scoops at night before I would go to bed because I wasn't getting enough magnesium and stuff like that to make my body healthy. So I started, in some cases, doubling and tripling up on those scoops sometimes because I started getting real bad leg cramps. And just overall, even though I was looking better and looking better and looking better and feeling better, there were other things that my body was doing that I just wasn't paying attention to. I was like not getting a certain micronutrients, certain macros and stuff that I need as well. So through all of like the working out and things like that, I was like, well, it's time to start putting on some muscle. I need to really start focusing on putting on some lean muscle. I'm already on 200 milligrams of test because my tests, if you guys don't know my journey, about a year and a half ago, the doctor, my primary care would not prescribe me test because her thing was, just because your test numbers are low doesn't mean that you should be on test, because if you can still function and get your Johnson up and it works fine, then why would you be on test? Well, there's so much to it. Test regulates your mood. It helps you sleep better and stuff. It helps how you respond to things. It helps your energy levels. It helps how you process things like, stored body fat and things like that. It all ties into all that stuff. So just because, I can get it up and I can function with my wife fine doesn't mean I'm producing enough sperm to have a baby and all this other stuff. There's so many things that my primary care, which is part of the government system because it was a VA doctor, just decided she wanted to neglect and not do anything about. So I went ahead and hired my own private company. I went to a company called Hone, Hone. They sent me a test in the mail. It was like $50 for the test. I think it was a little bit less than that. I took the test. Sure enough, I tested low. And then I went and actually got lab results, like blood work done, tested low. So then they put me on, because it was so low, they said, let's do some clomiphene at first. Clomiphene is a pill that you take that makes your body, it sends a chemical signal to your testes and says produce more testosterone. So in the process of producing more testosterone, you also produce more sperm. And about the same time I was going to get married to I'm getting married. I'm marrying my wife, and we want to have a baby. Mind you, my wife's in her mid-30s, and I'm about to hit 40. Actually, I'm going to be 40 this Saturday, the 24th. We wanted to have a baby together. We already have a kid by a previous relationship. The father never wanted to be part of the child's life, so I inherited an 8-year-old when I came into the picture. And she's about to be 14 in February. So it's been a journey. I've got the teen years and the later part of the first 1 through 10 years, but I never experienced the baby phase. And I always wanted a child of my own that like came from me. And don't get me wrong, I love my 13-year-old. She's my... I don't... Excuse me. Let me pause this for a second. I couldn't imagine just going my whole life knowing that my father, dad, whoever he was, sperm donor, didn't want to be a part of my life, and they created this wonderful gift, and then couldn't even be there to partake in raising me. So I stepped up. I took that spot, and I've been to every daddy-daughter dance. I've been to all the cheerleading practices or not practices, but games and volleyball games and everything else, and all of the reprimandings and the correctings and saying this is the kind of guy you want in the future. You don't want some kind of bum just because he's got big muscles and looks good. He's an idiot. Kind of like talking life into her, speaking life into her, showing her what I would like her to date in the future by trying to be that guy. It's part of the reason why I wanted to go through this health journey. So anyhow, I wanted a kid of my own. And the clomiphene was working. It raised my test levels from like 211, 220, something like that, up to my first test was about 3 months after being on it. I was up to about 650. And then I went another 3 months of being on it. I went up to about 725. And sure enough, after the first 45 days of us getting married and banging it out, we had a kid. Man, she came out looking identical to me. The ears, the no hair, the beautiful blue eyes, and the gorgeous smile, and the feisty attitude, just like her mom. She's here. She's 11 months old, and she's about to be a year old on February 8th. So I've had a long journey, and the doctor said, well, your numbers are starting to go back down again now that you've regulated and been on the medication for a while. Do you want to get on the shots? Because your numbers are kind of going back down. They're not bad, but they're going back down. And I said, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. So I'm on 200 milligrams a test. I do 100 milligrams on Monday and 100 milligrams on Thursday or Friday. And I take an anastrozole pill because the more test you produce, the more estrogen you produce. And in men, estrogen isn't bad because it helps with certain functions, processing fat and other things like that. But we don't want it to go super high because we can get side effects from that. So I take a pill called anastrozole. It's a very, very little small pill. So anyhow, that's my journey. And after being on the shot for, I want to say almost a year now, maybe a little less than a year. No, it's been a year. My numbers are up to between 1,050 and 1,150 every time I go test. But because my numbers are a little elevated, perfect is 900. Let's just put it that way. Like a 20-year-old, 19-year-old, and they're in their prime, highest test being produced naturally in the body. The numbers will be, anywhere between like 850 and maybe 800 and like 900 somewhere would be normal. I'm at about 1,050, 1,150, and I feel amazing. I'm putting on lean muscle mass like I've never put on before. Some people would call it a mini cycle, even though it's not. Some people would call it that because most bodybuilders that end up taking steroids will take anywhere between like 300 to like 600 milligrams of test a week, and they'll just pound out the weights and just get absolutely jacked. Well, it's working for me. I've noticed that my back, I can start to see, like, eat through the fat, which is kind of weird. It's really weird. Through the fat that I have left that I'm really, really, really working hard on, I can start to see all the muscle fibers going from the center of my back. What would you call that? It's called like the latimus dorsi and the serratus posterior. It's the one giant band that goes from the center of your spine out, and then there's smaller ones that go with it out. Even with the fat left that I have, which is plenty, don't get me wrong, I still want to lose. I went from 380 down to like 285, and then over the last month and a half, I've put on probably close to 10 pounds of muscle mass, just absolutely pounding the weight, sometimes twice a day, barely taking a day for breaks, sometimes maybe two, and then back at it for another week or two with no breaks in between. My back is getting huge, and I'm starting to see all of the muscle fibers and stuff that are starting to take place of where fat was. I'll show you an image. I'm self-conscious, guys. Please, like, you'll see how much of a fat ass I was before in you know, the picture that I'm going to post versus what I am now. And you can definitely see a difference. You can see all the back starting to take form and shape and stuff like that. But, you know, my arms went from 18 and a half inches to 20 and a half inches now. You know, I'm getting super strong with my squats. I had knee problems for years and years and years, especially getting out of the military. My knees were shot. I've been struggling with knee injuries at work. You know, I'm a mechanic, so over the last, you know, 5 years, 6 years, I've had a couple knee injuries that I've had to recover from. Well, now that I've lost all the weight, I don't feel the pain in my knees anymore, and my knees aren't really weak. I could barely even put 275 on the bar and squat like 3 or 4 times without hurting. I'm here to report to you that I was finally able to go out there, and I did the bar 10 times, which is a 45-pound bar. I did 135 10 times. I did 185 10 times. I did 225 10 times. I did 275 10 times, and I finished with 315 10 times, and I still had so much more left in the tank. I could have easily bumped it up to like 365, 405, and probably got like 7 to 10 more yet I really pushed through. But I'm trying to regulate myself and just say, hey, you're going to be 40 years old. Don't push it, or you're going to be laying flat out on the ground, not worth a shit. So I understand where I'm coming from. Is I'm getting there. Plus, on top of that, I'm wrestling a rotator cuff injury because in my mind, I wanted to get back into this and just jump in and just pound it out as much as possible and just try to get as big as I possibly can to take up for all this loose skin. But I started to actually injure myself because I became so strong in certain areas that I wasn't letting my tendons and ligaments catch up to how strong my muscles were getting. And that's a side effect of being on test that nobody talks about. You have to pace yourself, because once you start building muscle and stuff like that, you need to give the tissues and stuff that support all that muscle time to catch up as well. They need to get stronger and attach new fibers and anchor points and stuff, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a science guy or whatever. And I wasn't doing that. So I was taking 45-pound plates and putting on the easy curl bar behind my head, and just freaking going nuts, doing sets of 10, 15, 20 sometimes. That's how strong I was getting. Most men can make it barely past 35-pound plates, if not 25-pound plates on an easy curl bar strict behind the head. Now, I can probably put a 45 on and rack out 5 to 10 with a 45 and a 25 on an easy curl bar, which is extremely hard to do. Most guys can't do that, but I can. Genetically, I was blessed. And now taking test on top of it, it's a recipe for disaster if you're not careful. So now I had this arm behind my head, and I was going to rock them out, and I started to feel the tendon that attaches to the elbow start to get real sore and just fatigued. And then I was like, yeah, I'll give it a couple of days and I'll do it again. And I did. I made it even worse. So can you train through an injury like that? Yes, you can. But you have to lower the weight, like way lower, and do reps and get the blood and stuff in there. Just reps, 15, 20 reps, just nice and easy, something real light that you can control. Maybe if you want to step it up a couple times, and still work the muscle, but you got to get the blood in there. You got to give it time to heal and attach itself. And if it doesn't have that blood flow, it's not going to do that properly. And you can take injections like 157 and TB500, but then again, the best thing to do is eat properly, plenty of protein, and actually work the muscle before adding injections in. So here's where I'm at now. I'm back up to about 292, 293. over the last month, I've gained a ton of muscle mass. I'm still losing fat, but I'm really focused on the muscle mass. How did I do that? I added in more protein from clean sources, and then I started adding a carb in. I don't like carbs and sugar too much because it just blows me up. But my wife found something that she makes that does not bloat me, or I can use it as a pre and post workout. So here's what they are. They're muffins. And they are banana, maple syrup, oats, eggs, milk, and olive oil. I will share the recipe with you. It's right here. 2 ounces of maple syrup, 9 bananas, 4.5 cups of oats, 6 eggs, 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 3/4 cup of milk, whole, 1 3/4 cup of milk, maybe just a tad less, just depending on, just do your batches, figure out what you like, and then 3/4 cup of olive oil. Here, let me flip this around. So now it makes sense. I redid the macros. I used ChatGPT to figure out what it was, and here's what it comes down to. My wife was able to get 40 muffins out of it last night. The total was 6,100 calories. It's 40 servings. Calories per serving is 152. Carbs per serving is 20.5. Sugar is 4.5. Protein is 1.4, and fat is 6.25 grams. And I noticed for me, having one before and one after I work out is a game changer. I'm not as sore as I was. I stay fuller longer. My body recovers at a much better rate having some carbs in my diet. So I'll typically have about 2 or 3 of those a day now, depending. I might have 1 before and 2 after, whenever my workout. And it's helped me out quite a bit. So that's my journey so far. That's the journey of somebody that was 380 pounds. It's dropped down to 280, 285, and then started packing on muscle mass. And I was packing on muscle mass, but in the process of doing all the weight loss. It's much harder. It's a slower process if you're going to try to gain muscle while you're losing weight. Sometimes it's almost impossible. It can be done, but you have to do it very methodically and very carefully. Now I'm purposely trying to do it and using the fuel, the food that I eat, as an engagement towards my goal. Instead of just eating to eat, I'm eating to live. I'm eating to sustain my body and supplement my body correctly. Hope that makes sense. But that's my test journey, my Phentermine journey, my over 100-pound loss journey, and I'm going to still continue to lose. My goal weight is to be pretty lean and jacked at I'd like to be not lean, I'd like to be somewhere around 18 to 20% body fat at 240 pounds, 250, 240, somewhere in there. And I think I can achieve that by summer, I hope. I'm going to keep working the process, and yeah. So I hope that recipe works out for you. Let me know. It's not extremely sweet. It's just lightly sweet. It's perfect for working out, and it's been working for me. Y'all be blessed. Take care. I hope you've learned something from this journey, or it's inspired somebody to get out there and change your life, change the way you live. I have an 11-month-old that's about to be a year old, and I got a 13-year-old that's about to be 14. I figured if I don't do something now, it's going to get out of control. My blood pressure was 150/80 at 380 pounds. And within the first 2 months of eating clean, my blood pressure went down to 130/75. And then after another month of eating clean, my blood pressure went down to 117/72. And it's remained there consistently every time I go to the doctor. It's been like 118, 117, over like 70, 80. And the doctor was like, dude, don't change. Keep it exactly where it's at. Don't change anything. You're good. You're working the process, and that's all I can ask from my clients. And I want to continue doing it. Take care. Have a great day.